Okay, part three. I don't usually do this, but I'm kind of on a roll, and I think this is a point that needs to be made. I was about to tell you last year I was at a briefing, and there was a bunch of us veterans, and it was a briefing being given by one of our retired generals. His name is Jerry Boykin. Quite a guy. I really like him. I really like him. He's got outstanding character. He is a man. You know, he's really a man. And I look up to him. Well, he gave his briefing, and it was almost about some of the problems that we've had, because these types of problems are pretty routine in our country these days. And when he came over to our table, some of the senior people at my table said, "Sir, what is the answer to this? What are we going to do?" And I think some of us are thinking that maybe it's time for our senior leadership in that's active duty to take action. But he said, very simply, he said oath of office. And generals have a way of answering questions with something that will make you think, like, okay, do I have to follow the yellow brick road on this one to figure out what it means? And I may have jumped to the conclusion that it was hold politicians to their oath of office, and I was wrong. I want you to consider a problem that we have going on in our state right now, the Flint water issue, where the governor of our state, Rick Snyder, he calls himself the nerd, allowed the people of Flint to be poisoned with a very high concentration of lead in their water for 2 years. He allowed it. He was privy to the information, and then when the public found out about it, what did he do? He fired his DEQ director, Dan Wyant, threw him under the bus, right? Instead of being a man about it and saying, yeah, I knew about this and I did poison your kids. He said he knew about it, and then he fired him. Actually, Wyant resigned, but... So, can you hold a man like that to his oath of office? No. But a man like Jerry Boykin, will he maintain his oath of office? Absolutely. He spent 30 years in the military and was honorably discharged. I spent 20 years in the military and was honorably discharged, right? Duty, honor, and country. Duty was my country needed me. Honor is I served with honor. I mean, some people that I served with might question that, but in the end, I was given a honorable discharge. And that means that I fulfilled my oath of office. And my oath of office was to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. Excuse me, right hand, protect and defend. A guy like our Attorney General that we go to and say, hey, protect us, protect our constitutional rights here. This department seeks to take our property without due process of law. Don't you have a problem? Are you going to protect us? Well, he says, yeah, and you better do it or I'll give you a $700,000 fine. So how can we hold a man like that to his oath of office? You can't. You can't. Why? Because there is absolutely no honor in that man. And it's the same with our governor. I'm sorry to say, but back in 2014, I did a briefing down in Mount Pleasant, and at the end of it, it was a Tea Party briefing, and at the time they were real hot on holding our politicians' feet to the fire. And I simply stated that the problems that we have in Michigan are very easy to fix. Our form of government is great. It's the best in the world. The problem you have in Michigan right now is you have a leadership problem. That means you have people in places of leadership that have no honor. They have absolutely no honor. They will do anything to serve themselves. And those are tough words, but that is the problem. And then on a national level, which is not what I'm here to talk about, we have the same problem. On a county level, we definitely have that problem. I have a county sheriff that has absolutely no honor at all and will not move off dead center. He's going to do what's best for him. Everybody knows it. But the tide is turning now. The tide is turning, and we, as American people, citizens of this great country, Our forefathers saw this coming, and that's why they gave us this, the Bill of Rights to the Constitution. I'm going to ask you to get that out again, because that is what you can use to shine the light on these cockroaches that have gravitated towards positions of power in our county government, in our state government, and federal. This federal is not for us to do. That was really for our state governor to be asking Washington, what are you doing? But our state governor is going to fall right in line with what Washington wants him to do, because he wants a position in Washington. Right? So this is all about dishonorable people that are not doing what's in the best interest of our great country. So it falls on us. And